Who knows, man? Oh, I wonder how we're going to see how this big tech thing plays out. And I know everyone that is not conservative, you don't really have a problem with it, or you'll maybe pay lip service to it and say you do, but you don't care because it's not your guys. But censorship is not good. Yes, these are private companies, but this isn't good, man, because these things are coordinated. When Project Veritas puts up a video about Facebook's censorship and comment shadowing and comment hiding practices, and then Twitter takes them down for sharing that video, and then Google removes the video about the Twitter takedown, about the Facebook video that's coordination. When Alex Jones gets banished at the same time, when Parler gets kicked off the Apple Store and the Android Store and Amazon Web Services stuff, if this isn't sending chills up and down your spine, you're fucking brain dead, or you deserve to be thrown in the oven that you and your ancestors eventually would be put in after you're finished working at a gulag. This is where it goes. This is where it goes every single fucking time. And I know it's very easy to say, well, I'm liberal. I don't care. If Project Veritas, they're a bunch of assholes. I'm not even trying to. If this battery pauses, I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna put my fist through this fucking screen. You don't have to like Project Veritas, but if the thing that they're doing is hiding them because they don't like the video that they're showing, it's not even an opinion. It's a video of what the person is doing and saying. It is an objective take of an objective fact in space-time. X person said X, Y about this, that, or the other thing, about Twitter, about shadow banning, about taking money for ballot harvesting, about money makes the world go round. If their only recourse is to ban that person from telling the truth and showing it. Jesus Christ in heaven. That girl got fired from Disney saying that, but a lot of people don't we look back and say, I wonder how, how did people just stand by as the Nazis went and took away the Jews? And it's because the first thing they did was make their neighbors turn on them and hate them. And then when you look at that, you go, oh, that's how it creeps in. So what are we seeing right now? Hatred of a conservator, that fucking fascist Nazi. They don't deserve to talk. That is fascism and Nazism. I'm telling the person I don't like, hey, I don't like President Biden. I'm not liberal, but I have on my buddy Ernie, I have on my buddy Laura to talk about this shit because I agree to disagree, because I'm a fucking adult with a brain that works and understands that maybe my opinion isn't the law of the land. Maybe I just think differently. And you put it to a vote, and if it doesn't work, your guy doesn't win, you get him next time. And whether or not there's voter fraud or election fraud, which I think there is, that's a different episode for a different time. I've done that several times. I don't need to beat that dead horse into the ground. But taking down anyone you don't agree with and just blanket, it's no different than racism. When you say white people this or white people that, that is racism. Anytime you see a news article or a headline or anything, whether it be print media, whether it be on a screen, or whether it be a talking head on a news station, anytime you see the word white, I challenge you to mentally replace that word with black, with Jew, with Muslim. Just nothing else. Not the story, not the colors on the fucking flashing news feed updates, not the person, not the president, nothing. Not wealth, that socioeconomic stratification, not the job, not the gender, not their fucking whatever you are, you identify as a lamp, I don't know. Just replace the word white with black, Jew, or Muslim. Watch it. And I don't want you to tell me, because that's going to impact your truthfulness, whether or not you have to admit that you think that maybe you're wrong. So just within yourself, you don't need to turn this in. This is like this is a question that you don't need to turn in at the end of the year. Next time you see an article on Reddit or Instagram or fucking whatever, just replace white with black, Jew, or Muslim. And tell me that article wouldn't be the cause of raising Cain if it did read that. Black uneducated males ruin the 2020 election. Read that instead of white. So when you have that woman going on there and saying, hey, I'm not Disney, I'm not a private corporation, you can do whatever you want. But she said it kind of makes sense now when we're taught to hate our neighbors because they have a different political view than you. It's okay to censor this person because they're conservative. It's okay to do this. It's okay to shut them up. All these people that are saying, myself included, that these are private companies and they're allowed to do whatever they want, and including they're allowed to shoot, they're free to do whatever they want, and they're free to shoot themselves in the foot and allow the free market to build something else. Go build your own Twitter. They did, and then they conspired with the big tech conspired to remove them. Okay. The same people that are saying these are private companies are the same people that were against net neutrality because private companies shouldn't be able to throttle your access to information. My God, that was the biggest pearl-clutching shit show of faggots and retards and a bunch of commie pinko bastards that we haven't seen since then. Maybe Orange Man bad, but the net neutrality, I mean, Jesus Christ, you would have thought the sword of Damocles was hovering above every goddamn city. So that woman getting fired from Disney, again, whatever. I'm private company. Do you? And Disney saying that we don't, that we don't like that kind of talk. We don't like that political incorrectness. Okay. Disney removed, what was it? Was it Mulan? I forget what it was. But a movie they put in the Chinese market. No, it was Doctor Strange. The Ancient One is a woman in it, and I believe we saw her in Endgame in the Avengers. But maybe that might have been it. Maybe it was Avengers. It might have been Doctor Strange. Wherever she appeared in one of the movies, she is the Ancient One. Capital T, capital A, capital O. She's just this old. She's an ancient one, and she's the wise kind of like a Gandalf-esque woman. None of that is important, but she's from drumroll Tibet. China didn't like that. Not because they didn't like painting the Ancient One in a positive light. They didn't like the recognition of Tibet of existing at all. So China took it, or not China, so Disney took it out. Again, private company. I'm all for it. You're free to shoot yourself in the foot. In China, they don't like when Disney posters have, drumroll, black people in the posters. So what does Disney do? They remove them because they want access to that sweet, sweet Chinese market. Private company, do as you will. I'm okay with that. It's fucked up, and I can choose to never watch Disney again. Not that I did, because I'm a grown fucking man. But for all you brain dead, mouth breathing, room temperature IQ overweight retards that do watch Disney and get a hard on anytime a conservative gets banned, just remember that. Okay? So Disney can remove black people from posters. They can remove the Ancient One from the story to access the Chinese market, which is fine. I don't agree with it, which is fine, but it's a little odd when they then fire a woman for perhaps bringing light on where these baby steps towards communism take us every single time. Again, I'm all for the private company. Hey, you're allowed to be hypocritical. You're allowed to be contradictory. You're allowed to fire a woman here, but then not put black people on posters in China. That's fine. You're a private company. I think you should be able to do that. I think you should also be able to shoot yourself in the foot. But it's my God, everyone listening to this, please go to Audible. Get Stealth War by Brigadier General Robert Spalding. He was the pilot of a B-2 Spirit. Okay, he's the elite of the elite. He has the right stuff. He was in the Obama National Security Council. He was in the Trump National Security Council. Worked in both their White House organizations. Now works at the Hudson Institute. This guy is a stand-up, clear-headed, clear-cut, just fucking sharp stand-up guy. He wrote this book, and it's fucking horrifying. And this isn't a Beijing Biden. This isn't a... No, it's everyone. It's on the left and the right. This entire thing is fucking seeped through with Chinese tentacles going up their asses and pussies, or their pussies where there were asses, or whatever the fuck these transsexual fucks now think they are. It's creeping into this, into the organization of Congress, and it's shaping our laws. They know they can't take us with bullets and tanks. Right? Just like we knew in the 40s and the 50s that we couldn't take the Soviet Union. We know that we couldn't stand up to their military might, to their tank columns. So what did we develop? Tactical nuclear weapons and strategic air command so that we could take them with our effective force, our amplification of force, not in the sense of Green Berets force amplifiers, but rather fission bombs and later somewhat fusion with deuterium and the thermos bottle design and all the IV mic. That's not important. The thing is how China takes countries is they don't fire a shot. They seep in, they start changing your legislation. That's why a member of the Chinese Communist Party must be on the board of directors of every corporation in China. That's why Mitch McConnell's wife, her father, is the chairman of the board of the largest defense contractor in China. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. They're not at the wall. They're not at the gate. They're inside. They're fucking your wife, and they're gonna be fucking your kids soon. And you're not gonna do anything because you're gonna be with all the Uyghur Muslims and the Falun Gong in the concentration camps that exist right fucking now. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. But you don't say anything because the only thing that's coming in your way is a bunch of blue checkmark land whales going, yes, queen, ban the conservatives, yes, queen, this is history, this is progress, shave my balls, bigot, this is the future. These fucking people don't give a shit about you. And every time you cheer on one of these people getting banned, guess who's next? It's you. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day. It's going to be you. Because they can start with Alex Jones, wearing my Alex Jones hoodie, because he talks about interdimensionality. Granted, it's because if this battery, I swear to fucking God, this laptop is I'm about to go fucking firebomb the Foxconn factory in China. They start with him. They took down a sitting president. They took down Project Veritas. They took down Rand Paul. Facebook censors Ron Paul. These motherfuckers don't care. They demonetized Demolition Ranch. What's the first thing? What is the very first thing eventual people who kill tens of millions of their own citizens, what's the very first fucking thing they do? They remove guns, all right? And you start by making it wrong thing. You start by making it not a way to gain a living, all right? My fucking, what is that? Dude, they're coming for you. This isn't, dude, growing up in a conservative family, I think that's why I was liberal for so long, because I hated the fear mongering. I still do. I mean, bless him, I know he's dying, but I still can't stand the voice of Rush Limbaugh, all right? There's one funny guy, Chris DeGaulle. I don't listen to him. My mom does. I had him on the show. He's a fucking cool guy. Me and him vibed about sobriety and not being an asshole more than politics. I used to hate the fear-mongering, and I still do. But at a certain point, you have to look and you go, am I just being hysterical? I remember when Romney lost, I was hysterical. Obamacare is going to ruin the lives of doctors. You're taking away money from the hand that feeds you or the hand that heals you. And as someone that wants to be, I went on a couple Facebook rants that have been just crazy. And guess what? That was hysteria. The reality is my guy lost, the other guy won in a Democratic election. Deal with it. It sucks. I get it. You went to the Super Bowl and Tom Brady beat you. It sucks. I get it. This is impacting your life. It's here. It's here. When someone's only way of fighting you is just turning you off, censoring, and not letting anyone else talk about them. When your only way to counter an argument is by making them disappear or virtually disappear. I mean, like, within, like, the virtual world. I don't mean, like, murdering them or silencing them online. I mean, god damn it. If you've got a working brain, you've got to see that's not good. I don't think you should be able to censor The View. I don't think you should be able to censor, who's the bitch, Kathy Griffin, that held the beheaded head of Donald Trump. I think that's fucked up. I think that's free speech. If Marilyn Manson wants to burn crucifixes and rip a head off a bat, I'm okay with that. I don't want anything to do with it, but I'm okay with that because I'm a fucking adult and we agree to disagree. I'm not a normal conservative. I am pro-choice. I'm in a weird side. I'm in a weird way that both sides hate me. The right doesn't like me because actually no one. It's not that anyone likes me or doesn't like me. No one thinks about me. I'm not important. But in my ego inflated mind, I think the right doesn't like me because I say you should be free to kill your baby, and the left doesn't like me because I call it murdering a baby. It's as a student of biology, it is a baby. It's a human. You can call it whatever you want. You can use semantics. It's a living being. You don't have to like it. It is. I also think you should be allowed to kill it if it's yours. It's just so I'm not this fucking. What it's coming is, it's not good. Listen, it starts with Alex Jones. It goes to the sitting president. It goes to Project Veritas. Guess what? They just have to keep moving who they can ban. And guess what? Eventually you, the listener, perhaps a moderate Democrat who doesn't agree with a lot of things I say. There are a couple guys that do comment on here and say, hey, we disagree all the time, but Tommy, I like listening to you. Hey, brother, sister, I'm glad you're here. And I'm thoroughly enjoyed you're here. And if you'd like to come on the podcast, shoot me an email, tommyspodcast@gmail.com. Would love to talk to you. We can agree to disagree. Then we can laugh and make dick jokes and talk about nuclear-powered aircraft carriers in the sky, right? The Lockheed Martin CL-1201. There's more to life than politics. But eventually you, moderate Democrat, guess what? When everyone right of you has been cut off, excised from the digital world, guess who's now the far right? It's you. Mr. Hey, I'm a moderate No, I maybe don't think we should be giving hormones to 3-year-olds who tried on a dress because they're playing around and it's a 3-year-old with a brain the size of a peach. That's not accurate. That's not biologically accurate. But it's a 3-year-old boy who tried on a dress and he said he wanted to be a girl. Not, let's forget the fact that an hour prior he said he wanted to be a velociraptor, all right? And tomorrow he's going to say that he wants to be a pile of dirt that makes poop out of his face. Maybe we shouldn't give them hormones just yet. You got to be older to get a tattoo, whether or not you want to drink or smoke or join the military. Those are big boy decisions. But if you're fucking under 40 months old and you decide you want to be a woman, give them the hormones and the puberty blockers. Let's chop off that dick and turn it into a clit. Like you who goes, I'm not for that. I am for, Medicaid for all. I'm for, perhaps a smaller military industry. The moderate Democrat that I can work with. Guess what? Ernie, who's here all the time, he will eventually be the far right. And he will get cut off. And the only people that are going to be left for him to pitch his woes to are the insane far left who have been okay with it all along. So it's such a cheesy, first they came for the Jews, but I didn't speak out because I was Jews, and they came for the Gypsy, and then they came for me, and there's no one else to speak. Yeah, but there's a reason why that fucking saying exists, is because it was fucking real. And it led to the incineration of 12 million fucking people via a train system and tattoos on their wrists. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I don't, you know what? If we don't do anything to stop this, then maybe we deserve it. Maybe this is natural selection. If there are not enough self-aware balls of protoplasmic neurology, self-aware things inside of these skulls of cerebrospinal fluid that we call the human brain, if these aren't smart enough to escape, then maybe we don't deserve to escape. If every mouse is dumb enough to go for the cheese in the mousetrap, maybe they don't deserve to have offspring. The one or two that don't go there and then have offspring and all their progeny are smart, which is how evolution works, N1, N2, that is it. If they all just march right into the mousetrap and then die, they're not an endangered species. They're a species that doesn't deserve to exist. And that's not me saying who does and does not deserve, but I mean the true Darwinian fashion, they do not deserve to exist. They just don't. Just like a free market idea of a yogurt shop that feeds you yogurts while moving on a skateboard. Probably not a scalable business plan. And if it dies, that didn't deserve to exist. So we're slowly moving past Alex Jones, past the president, past Project Veritas, and more and more and more. Listen, the people that denied any coordinated effort to have any impact on the 2020 election, and then a New York Times article comes out and it says the secret story, the unknown history of the massive coordinated campaign to, quote, fortify the 2020 election, which is just, it's just control of semantics. You control your words. If you control what words you can say, then you initiate self-censorship, which is controlling of thought. Thought controls what actions you do. Controlling your actions, that is global domination. But there's a more subtle way to go. Hey, you got to respect your enemy. It's an intelligent way to go about it. It's a bold attack. Fortifying the election. They're the same people that didn't deny, quote, fortifying the election. They're the people that denied having any coordinated anything. And there's now a New York Times article, yes, queening all over the place. There's going to be an article tomorrow, next month, next year, whatever. The untold history of the coordinated campaign to silence fascists online. And they're going to feed it to you as silencing fascists, and you're going to go, yes, queen, I understand, yes, queen. Chop off my son's balls, yes, queen. Forgetting the fact that they ever denied there being any coordination at all. And if they're lying to you about the fact that there was coordination at all, then why can't they be lying to you about why there was coordination? If they say there was no coordination around the 2020 election, and then they come out and say that there was a massive shadow campaign, but it was to fortify the election, well, they just lied to you nonstop for 3 fucking months that there was no coordination, period. And then they came and said there was, but it wasn't about stealing the election. Well, they just lied to you about, if your spouse is willing to cheat on you, they're willing to lie about cheating. If someone murders someone, they're willing to lie about it. If someone steals a diamond from a jewelry store, they're probably not above shoplifting a candy bar. So if they lie to you for 3 fucking months saying there was no coordinated campaign, and then they say there was one, but they say it was for fortifying, I don't know, man. I didn't star in Blue's Clues, but I'd say that there's a chance they might be lying. There's a chance that everyone might always be lying in everything they say. But if you look at precedents, like a credit score of truth, I don't know. When they say Alex Jones was banned, you know, it was just a coincidence altogether. Maybe. I'll entertain that. I'll roll those dice, possibly. But when they all banned President Trump on the same day, when they all removed Parler on the same day, when they all removed Project Veritas on the same day, and they say that there is no coordination, and then one day there will be a goddamn news article written by some 17-gendered land whale with 2 heads and half an IQ, and it's going to be the coordinated effort to silence fascists, and you're all going to go, yes, queen, yes, queen, I understand. If they lied about there being any coordinated effort, they're going to tell you that there was, and they're going to tell you why they did it. Use your brain. They might be lying to you about why they did it. Mark my words, February 12th, Friday, February 12th, 2021, 2:12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's coming.